So, Remade in Leeds, which is the research project behind Antiform, has allowed us to explore relocalising the entire fashion supply chain for Antiform to within a single community, which is Hyde Park in Leeds. So we have moved all our sourcing to Hyde Park and all our production and finishings, and soon we'll be retailing in the area as well. About 70% of our textiles, our raw material, are sourced through the Clothes Exchange, which is a free monthly event where people are invited down into the studio. We run a free clothes exchange, people swap clothes with each other, and left over at the end is quite a large volume of textiles, of old clothing. We then sort and grade that within our fabric store, and that's about 70% of our raw material. On top of that, we source from local factories, a leather tannery, a knit supplier that's a little bit further away. It's just outside of Leeds, but they don't have anything to do with their waste knit at the moment, and a mill that donates it to a local recycling textiles mill where we collect from. So that's where we start sourcing. So some of these fabrics are incredibly beautiful, really high value, but just haven't got a purpose in their current state.
I think what's important about the fashion images is that they stand on their own as a fashion image. It's all well and good doing everything that's ethical, but when you look at a lot of ethical fashion websites, I think where they fall down is that they get so wrapped up in it being about ethical and being good for the planet, and it sort of loses the quality of it, of being an actual product that stands up in its own right and being a desirable product.
Well, to be honest, it was a bit of a fight all the way through my BA with my tutors, who believed that ethical fashion was a very niche and quite hippie area of the industry, and I kind of dragged them kicking and screaming into understanding that sustainability was going to be a huge part of the future of the entire industry and not just a niche of hippie little brands. I realised that our fashion label has to stand up just in terms of fashion. It has to be as good as other fashion brands out there. The way that it's made and the fact that, we do source it locally and it's all handmade by local women that we're supporting and developing and working on skill sharing. That's kind of another layer, which is something I've been talking to Sally about, the art direction for the photo shoot. It has to be as strong as other brands, and that's something that has really, I think, the struggle to make my course leaders understand the importance of sustainability within fashion.
And I think what's really important is that I try and sort of wear ethical clothes. I'm vegan myself. I try not to wear things that have an impact on the world so much. And I think sometimes you find really boring clothes when you're trying to be sensible about what you wear, like eco-friendly and stuff. It's always like hemp or tie-dye, and I think what's important about Liz's clothes is that they communicate that you can be fun, you can have beautifully made clothes, you can have different cuts, you can have really interesting things that don't have to be sort of a paisley pattern.
I don't want to become too complacent and working in a bubble where everybody understands where you're coming from, because once you're back out there in the real world, at the end of the day, people are looking for value for money. They are used to fast fashion, and it is a huge consumer change in behaviour that we're looking to achieve, to ask people to spend more money to buy locally.